Confession time. It's been just a few years since Mitch and I have actually hit the slopes, but this past weekend, Mitch dusted off them old twigs and took them back up the hill to carve some steezy lines of his own. And while he was shredding, he discovered something interesting, believe it or not, about Riders Republic. Yeah, I know, on the real life mountain. Stick around for that main topic. Plus, we do have a date for the Tartiflette Games Best Trick Finals coming up in just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Riders Report. Today's episode is brought to you by our YouTube members. Thank you as always to executive producers Bonecrusher2D and Coach34, along with co-producers It's the Mort and Mitch's mom, and our fans and Fans Plus. If you'd like to become a member and help support the channel, hit join down below for cool perks like early access to the shows, emojis and badges, exclusive Discord roles, members-only content, sneak peeks, and more.
The Tartiflette Games Best Trick Finals has a tentative date of Saturday, March 12th. The time is to be determined, but if you missed it, you can catch all of the runs video on our channel right now. The fan vote is also officially closed. Thank you to everyone who pitched in. We'll be picking the top 2 out of each of the 5 categories to premiere in the finals video. There's also another competition. Check My Steez is back in Steep, taking place at Les Chavants in the Aiguilla region of the game, and that will be due Sunday, March 6th. You can just head over to r/steep to check out more info.
Are you competing in this one?
You know what, I might. I have some time this weekend.
Oh, I can't wait.
Like Nick said, I finally got a chance to go up to our local mountain and go skiing this weekend, and while I was there, I noticed that Riders Republic kind of got the vibe right.
Okay, yeah. And this is all that we have talked about so far, like just that sentence. I told you I do not want to discuss this. I don't want to know what you mean by this. I wanted to save it for the video. So this is the first time that I'm hearing this as well. But I'm assuming that there are multiple elements. It's not just one thing. Like, you know, the mountains don't just look like Riders Republic. There has to be some certain elements. So I'm guessing maybe some music. Like, is the vibe around the lobby areas, you know, around the lodge, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm going to say that the music around the lodge was very similar to Riders Republic, and maybe some colors of gear, but that's, I'm drawing a blank after that. So I'm going to let you take it. Please make sense of all of this. Why do you think Riders Republic nailed the vibe of real life skiing?
All right, and I'm going to start this off by saying our local mountain, Seven Springs, or my local mountain now, but Nick used to ride out there.
It's our hometown mountain, yeah. I still call it my local mountain.
Yeah, it's our local spot, and it is one of the biggest ski resorts for terrain parks on the East Coast. It is well known for terrain parks, features, rails. They just added a new alley section, so it does draw that crowd. There are a lot of riders that are there for the parks. But while I was skiing down at the lifts, every single lift, the lift people had their own speaker set. They were blasting music. So I heard some Journey. I heard some Sum 41. The lift attendants were singing along. The riders were singing along while we were waiting to get on the chairlift. People were dancing down there. A lot of people skiing and snowboarding had speakers clipped to their backpacks, and they were just playing music. So you'd be riding down, and then someone goes zooming by with their own music playing.
I'm on a highway.
Pretty much that nonstop. There were 2 different costumes. There was a person dressed up as a taco. Yes, like a Halloween costume.
No.
And I saw this steep outfit. Someone was in a cow onesie. And he also had a speaker on, but he was wearing the cow with the udders and everything.
Just going to say, very important. Were there udders?
There were udders, and there was also a matching pink fanny pack.
Oh, see, so I was also going to think that the fanny pack may have been the udder. Regardless, that's a lot.
Yeah. And what was the final one? Oh, there were some scenes too. I was skiing with my girlfriend, and so it's one of her probably 8th time skiing. I don't know exactly how long. Nice. So we did a lot of the easier slopes in the beginning, and we'd be going, I'd be skiing, looking back, watching her skiing backwards. And at some points I'd look up and literally see like 20 riders coming around the corner on Lost Boy, which is like the slow, easy, winding trail through the woods. And then I'd see 20 riders, and they were the guys there for the trick parks. They were like full tucked down racing. They were going off like the side, the little jumps that people built on the side. And it was just like having the crazy AI that you don't know what they're going to do, like weaving in and out of people. So
that's that's terrifying. I remember, just small anecdote. I remember the last time I was at Seven Springs, going down Lost Boy, like you said, which is a green, definitely a green track, but they have a trick park called Santa's Beard. Mm-hmm. And growing up, Santa's Beard was a trick park for children. It was a tube that you could ski through. It was maybe a box, but it was definitely like a platform made out of snow, little lip with a landing and then a little lip down. Nothing too intense. And then I went in high school like 6 or 7 years ago, and it was a full-blown trick park. And like you said, there were all of the guys and all the kits absolutely sending it on this green trail. And it was terrifying to see them on that trail. Seems like that should be somewhere else in the mountain, but no, that is intense. So you kind of walked away from this weekend with the sense that Riders Republic got the vibe, got the energy of the skiing community as it stands in the 2020s.
Yeah, and that's where at the beginning of the game people were talking like, oh, it's just like way too hyperactive and kind of wild. But that's who was at the mountain at Seven Springs. And that's a big change from when I used to go with my dad. Mm-hmm. Maybe I just didn't notice it as much, but it does seem like it is that lot younger crowd. I heard a lot of slang too. So people really kind of bash on a lot of the vocals in the like recorded, the script in Riders Republic. Yeah, right. And I heard 2 snowboarders, like we were in the line waiting, like group of 4 to get on the chairlift, and there's the single riders line. And I heard the guys like, oh, dude, we should totally just hack the single riders line. Ride that up, man. He's like, yeah, I mean, totally. I've been telling you guys it's quicker. And it was just like, we should hack the line. I'm like, yep, the language is there too.
Yeah, right. I mean, and this may not be a big surprise for people who are like who have season passes and lift tickets to their local mountains. But for us, being removed, that is interesting to dive back into it and see that slang and all of that is still there. I also wonder, it may be different over in Europe where skiing is just kind of an inevitable because you have mountain ranges. I mean, and it might be different on the West Coast in the Rockies or, in actual Appalachia, with the mountain ranges. Where we're from in the Pittsburgh area, we don't have mountain ranges. We have some high elevation and some big hills in high elevation. So that's Seven Springs. Tom Wallish, skier, X Games, Olympics, all of that good stuff. TFG co-host, TFG guest judge, has thrown a ton of money in the past 10 years into Seven Springs to make his hometown lodge, a trick park destination. I know the Dew Tour was brand new when we were in high school. They started including Seven Springs on the circuit. So I wonder if that is just, Western Pennsylvanians kind of taking the stereotypes and running with them, or is this just a one-off that you experienced because that's what these riders think being a snowboarder is, or is this global right now?
Yeah, I guess it does depend on the type of park. Tom Walsh is coming back. The Steel City Showdown's going to be there again. I think mid-March.
Mm-hmm. Right before the meltdown.
Yeah, and when you're talking about like big hills, the total vertical elevation, let's see. It does say the elevation's 3,000 feet.
Okay.
I think it's about a 700-foot drop, though, is like the actual length of mountain that you can ride, and 3,000 is like the peak of the mountain compared to sea level.
Yeah.
So I'll put up a trail map and maybe mark off all the trails we did. We did most of them, did all of the greens, I believe. And then she took a break and I hit North Face, the Black Diamond. I hit the Blue. I hit the terrain parks. I do want to talk about the parks a little bit too. I don't have pictures, unfortunately, but
we might be able to find some stock. I'll see if I can find some stock photos from their sites and from Instagram.
Yeah. You were talking about Santa's Beard. I was at Santa's Beard. I also did Arctic Blast Children's Park, but it is a place where you can learn how to do rails. Like they have they have 3 different rails. They have the straight flat box, they have an arched box, and then they have an arched rail that you can ride right onto. You don't have to jump at all. So I was testing that out, and I was able to ride on them okay, going just like straight forward. I think it's a 50-50 on skis going sideways again and wiped out. I've tried that trick twice and have wiped out twice. I want to learn how to do that though. And
have you figured out a 50-50 on your street skates yet? We both now have adrenaline inline skates for like trick park inline skates. Have you figured out a 50-50 yet?
I haven't done the rails yet, no, but I've done it on like a sidewalk curb, so it's kind of small. So I'm gonna probably hit that hard this year. We have a local indoor park that has some small rails and small bowls, and I want to get comfortable with that because I want to go back to Seven Springs.
Yeah, man.
They have some cool ones. They have the streets at Seven Springs now, which is designed to look like more urban features that you'd find around downtown Pittsburgh. So they have some street skiing features. They added one called the Alley, which is the newer one, and it's through the woods. It reminds me a lot of the Japan parks in Steep, where it's woods and then a lot of really small kickers with rails and just a ton of different rail types. That seems to be the really popular one. And they do have a super pipe, the 22-foot super pipe, and the massive kickers, which I put some pictures in the Discord. So they have that's where they do some training, and I think the Dew Tour does have some qualifiers there.
Yeah. Dew Tour, the qualifier circuit was passed through there. I remember vividly Sean White had to reroute his qualifiers, and he was coming to Pittsburgh the first time that the Dew Tour was using Seven Springs as a qualifying location. So that was like a big to do. Everyone was up there watching Sean White qualify for the Dew Tour way back when. I'm really upset that you didn't do anything on that kicker. You sent me a picture of it on Snapchat, and I think I replied. I was like, knuckle that huck. You got to get this done. Maybe next time.
I think next year, what the skiing trip did do, though, was I want to go back and I want to ski a lot. I was on my dad's old skis because I outgrew mine, and they are definitely downhill ones, more racer. That's what we used to do. So they are not designed to go backwards at all. They are not rounded on the tail. So once I turn around 180, there's no real easy turning back. I think this year is finally going to be the year of getting some Gilsons or some custom, more park / all mountain skis so I can learn to do that stuff some more.
Man, who's our contact at Gilson? All right, Steep got his pair. We need our pair. We're not pros, we're not ski instructors, but you can watch the entire progression on Gilson skis. I mean, what better what better marketing pitch could you ask for?
I'm going to use the Steep discount code to buy my custom designed pair of Nick and Mitch skis. Because you can design your own custom ones there. You can build your own. They have that summer camp. Yeah, I did say we got to get Steep out here for their summer camp where you get to build your own set of skis over a weekend.
He said he was down.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say. Submit your designs for Mitch's custom Gilson skis to the Discord yesterday. Please just get those in right now. We need to get him the sexiest pair of twigs on the springs.
Oh, I almost forgot. I did have an embarrassing fall, and it's not the one that was on the rail, because if you're trying tricks, I mean, you can fall. That's what's going to happen. Right. I fell getting onto one of the lifts.
No.
And that has never happened before.
Oh, no. Wait. Hang on. We have to save this for another. This could be a full main topic.
And I feel like it was justified, but it was embarrassing nonetheless. They had to stop it.
Oh, geez. Maybe we make that a members video. Maybe that's a monthly members video.
There we go.
We'll see.
The story.
Mitch's $50 fall story. His chairlift fall story.
Yep.
I can't wait. Well, last week we kind of spoiled the photo challenge. It had been 3 weeks and no one had found Thunder TRP's location. So Mitch decided to find it in the video that was featured on the episode last week, and we had some people who were upset. Sass, I am so sorry. But if you wanted to find it, you had 3 weeks to do so. So sorry, not sorry. It took entirely too long for that one. So we are looking for another suggested spot. And this actually works perfectly. You don't have to win this to be the person who recommends the next spot. This week, get out in the game, find a weird, really weird niche, one-off location on the map of Riders Republic, take a screenshot and send it to Mitch and I. Don't put it in a public chat, send it directly to us, and you may be featured as the next search and find photo challenge. With that being said, we do not have any pictures to show off or anyone to congratulate this week, so we're going to move right along into self-promo. Mitch, I believe we have stuff from Benny, Abouts, and one of the big guns.
We do. Benny and Abouts have been cranking out the Riders Republic content. Benny is first up, and he was making the skis look sexy in Riders Republic. He has, the HUD turned off, and he's just doing some simple steezy tricks on the skis, showing us what can be done in this game.
Yeah, I mean, his rider is just an absolute machine. And at the speed and the intensity that he's running, it feels like his game looks different than my game. Does Benny play on no, Ubisoft Connect, one of these pictures? I'm not sure. Maybe he plays on PC and I'm just getting a higher frame rate than I'm used to. Regardless, Benny, it is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. 2 minutes and 39 seconds of nothing but steez. Nothing but the best from one of the best in the biz right now.
We also got a video from Abouts pulling off bike tricks and stunts, and he is not doing it as simple as Benny was, but he is hitting some impossible gaps and tricks in this game. A lot of these are taking place at the different arenas that are around and the ridge. He seems to love those busy areas to pull off some tricks, and he is just squeezing the bike through some of the tiniest gaps that you can find.
And I don't know if you caught on to this in your quick watch. Another 2-minute video. It's 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Super easy to get through here. Other than the hole-in-ones, he's also adding some transitions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has found some ways to do some camera shots that it makes it kind of feel like there's a director mode. Like, he is providing more substance than I believe I've seen in anybody else's edits. And he's only at 531 subscribers. So, folks, I see Benny with 2K over there. I know we're getting close to 2K. We have a platform. We need to support these up-and-coming creators. Please click the link down below. Go watch About's video. This is episode 4. You have four whole videos that you can watch. You can click subscribe and make someone's journey that much better. So please go and support your other fellow community members there. That's it. I will jump off my soapbox because we have a big fish to wrap up self-promo.
And this big fish is also just underneath 2,000 subs, so you know what to do if you haven't already. Just Steep It is showing Riders Republic. That's it. I spoiled it.
I love it.
Yep, Riders Republic, but the retro mode like Steep. So he has a filter thrown on here, a nice bright outfit, a timer, and a score in the top right, and some music. He's just great with his edits, and I love this kind of filter.
Retro's Republic is now officially trademarked as a Nick and Mitch brand. So Riders, whenever you want that 90s DLC, you come calling. We will give you a competitive but fair price. Well done, Just Steep It. This one also just a minute long, so we need to make sure that we don't show the whole thing on this episode here, but some wonderful content coming out from the community. You see some big guns from the Steep days, Just Steep It coming back in here, and yeah, I mean, just what a build up to check my spot or check my steez over in Steep. All of these names are coming together to put out some content. I'm here for it. We're back in the game.
Yeah, and that does it for this episode. So if you want your own stuff to be self-promo, just head over to our Discord server, to the self-promo channel, and you can post the link, and we will show it off in a future episode. Thank you for joining us, and a big thanks goes out to, of course, our YouTube members, executive producer Bonecrusher2D and Coach34, co-producers It's the Mort and my mom, and our fans and Fans Plus.
Yeah, and if you would like to become one of those members, you can hit join down below. It'll give you a list of all of the perks and all the different paywall, all that stuff. All of the details are behind that join button. There is a lot to offer there, and you're helping support a channel. So if we give you happiness, if we give you joy, and you would like to help us out, if you're able to help us out, that would be wonderful. It means the world to us. Thank you to everyone who is already doing that. If you would just like to stay up to date on what we are doing on YouTube, you can hit subscribe, for 100% free. There are $0 attached to that subscribe button. You can also click that notifications bell to stay up to date on all of our videos, including the Tartiflette Games Best Trick Finals coming at you March 12th. We are super excited for that video to come out. I didn't botch that date, right? It is March 12th. You said that before.
Yep,
Scrolling
March 12th.
Yeah.
Time to be determined. You can also check our Instagram, Twitter, and Discord links right down below. I can tell you that the ski lodge at Seven Springs did in fact smell like a ski lodge. It was jam-packed, and that's what our Discord server is. That's what we like to compare it to. There's no food, though.
Yeah, our Discord server is absolutely like the ski lodge. The only exception, you don't get that smell. You don't get those weird kind of rubbery, soft pretzels and the fake cheese, but it's all right. It has its own charm. The Discord server has its own charm, and you can only experience it by going ahead and joining over there. We can't wait to see you on Discord, and we can't wait to see you back here, same place, same time next week for episode 17 of the Riders Report. Thank you very much. We'll see you then. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see you on the slopes.